promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I'm in always reflecting His light. Always I acknowledge, no knowledge, no courage. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that He is by your side, and nothing can separate this love inside. No masters, no doctors can prescribe ways in my calling. Only His ways, oh ancient of days, can correct. He reflects the path I acknowledge. God's promise, 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 promise. 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 Put on a new self who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on. Promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I am in all ways reflecting His might. I am in all ways reflecting His sight. In all ways I acknowledge, no knowledge, no college. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that He is by your side, and nothing. Put on a new self who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on. Promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I am in all ways reflecting His might. I am in all ways reflecting His sight. In all ways I acknowledge, no knowledge, no college. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that He is by your side.
Let's get it started.
To a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created you. The people who walk
Greater light, greater light, greater light, greater light, greater light. Let me get right to it. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will provide. He has provided. He will always provide the perfect solution to not just some of my needs, but every single one of my needs. And He'll do the same for you. Whether it's something hard you're going through, whether it's something painful, he'll provide the need, whatever you need to get through it. I say, God, you promise. Keep your promises, God. You say amen. I'm saying these days, God, you promised. I'm going to make sure in my mind that God is going to keep His promise. Everything written. Every manuscript. Huh? All the stellars on this land speak of these last days and times right here that's going on. Huh? And I'm going to go to my favorite passage of the month. My favorite passage. You can go ahead and turn there before I get there. Matthew 24. Somebody, you know what? I appreciate the big dogs in the community that come over here and sneak and listen. Oh, here. This one's for you. When I was on a treadmill saying I'm running for my life, that wasn't talking about me running to live longer in this flesh. That's a old song. I don't know it from nowhere else but down south, huh? Well, Pastor Prince. I hear them talking about the gold mouth minister. Ain't nobody did. The first gold mouth minister out there came from Dade County, Pastor Prince. Huh? And that song that I was singing, I'm running for my life. The first time I heard that song, I was 14. Oh, 14. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, was I 14? Yeah. Yeah. So the song says, for those two that don't know it, and then I'm going to tell you a story about when I sang that song in the Seventh-day Adventist church. And dear, wherever her soul may be resting right now, sleeping, Sister Pat got mad at me for singing that in the Seventh-day Adventist church. And I understood later on why she said that about the version of it. So here's the version, the first version, the way I learned it. So while I was on that treadmill, oh, and for those who are ready to be tuning in when I do the workout, I worked out some more yesterday, right, without being on camera. My sweat glands are opening up and everything, but I couldn't sleep last night. All that energy, I couldn't sleep. I was up till like 3 a.m. So what I'm gonna do is do my workouts in the evening, late night. Now, I'm more than likely, like every weekend, wouldn't be going live at all this weekend. You know, this is my special time with my ancestors, my grandchildren. See, my ancestors, my grandchildren. But as I was pushing it, I was like, I'm running for my life. So here's how the song goes. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in. And then a little light from heaven filled my soul. Wait. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in. And then a little light from heaven filled my soul. I tell you, he filled my soul with love. And he wrote my name above. And I thank God, I'm running for my life. 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 And then it say, if anybody asks you, so you have the choir in the background, it's like call and response. If anybody asks you, what's the matter with me? It says, tell them I'm saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized. Okay. Wait a minute. I did learn that in Sweetfield Missionary Baptist Church first, but we always sang it. And then there was not the chorus part. I learned the choral part in New Jerusalem. Okay. So in Sweetfield, we sang it without the choral part. Then when I got to New Jerusalem, we sang it, or I learned it with the choral part. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in, and then a little light from heaven filled my soul. Now, when I got to Coconut Grove SDA, and I was teaching because I was the youth choir director. And so as I was teaching it as one of the songs, or we were re-rehearsing it, oh, Sister Patsy said, "What do you mean fire baptized? You better watch what you singing." She did that several times. I remember one holy day, and they was getting the children all ready. And no matter how I'd go, home and talk to my first husband, middle name Jesus, and say, we ain't supposed to be celebrating this and stuff, but since I'm here, I give him the best that I got. Giving you the best that I got, baby. And so as I'm sitting there watching everybody get ready, I was just sitting there, and I was like, right? Oh, she said, "Oh no, you not singing that in here." Come here, let me talk to you. The memories. Anyways, so let me go ahead and why did I bring that up? Yeah. Okay. So that was just a message about when I get on the treadmill to read. I think I finally got the app hooked up properly. I think I finally got the app hooked up properly. Boy, it was a time with that. Trying to make sure that my steps, humbly I ask thee, teach me your will. My ordered steps on the stairway to heaven gets documented so that my walk for charity miles goes to the places it needs to go. But again, I won't be walking in the daytime. I'll be doing my walks towards the evening, because once I finish, like yesterday, the first time I got on there, which I was on camera, I was energized. And then I went on there off camera, and immediately, like about half an hour later, I wanted to go to sleep. But then I didn't go to sleep, and I did more exercising. I walked outside and everything. And then I ended up where I couldn't sleep last night. So that's why, again, I'm going to try and reverse, especially with time changing and all the frequencies thrown off with the signals that they released during the Easter eclipse, the final Easter eclipse. Again, if anybody who really truly follows the sun, you'll know that it is way off. There's something way off about where the sun is rising. And at high noon, the sun still shows an eclipse. It's eclipsed by something. And the high noon is usually at or about 2 or 3 o'clock based on their time. But that lets you know that Matthew 24 is going just the way Jesus said it would. That time would be shortened. And that has happened. Now, today, I'm going to show you where in prophecy, which the prophecy of Revelations is about today. You are written in prophecy. In every single manuscript, you exist. So, Jesus mentions the last signal, but in prophecy, it says that we will be, after that eclipse, we'll be protected for 5 months. Those who are armored in love and light. And you're looking to unify. You're not looking to unify with evil, and you're not looking to unify with anything that demonic worship, witchcraft, and anything that is connected to demons represent. Doesn't mean that it's a whole world unification. You want whole. I'm hearing people. Yeah, the whole world. Yes, okay. You go and find you a bunch of murderers and killers and rapists and stuff to go unify with. That's Gog and Magog mess. That's unrealistic. There's children being hurt. There's women there's innocent beings that are being tormented based on the democratic or demonic level. So all this people all over the world, let's join hands and we all unite like that. Nah, that don't make no sense. But there's a unification for those who live in love and light and denounce anything that the devil has to offer. So for those beings, everything that they're doing, like right now, everybody talking about a bunch of stuff in the news, but ain't nobody talking about how they got the planes, all the military ready to blast off and go from over here. Air Force, they pulling out all their new technology, the ones that's unmanned and everything, getting ready to go. But for the 5 months that we'll be protected, and how do you know it 5 months? I can show you where in Federal Register it's 5 months. It's exactly 5 months, just the way the word says. The last signal that is going to go off is going to happen in October. That last signal, there's a last signal that Jesus mentions, and it's in Federal Register. They just released it today. They letting people know exactly when it's going to happen. Just like everything that's happening right now. I told you, if you want to see where something is happening, don't be surprised. You go to your Federal Register because they tell you this is what's going to happen. Right now, it's a big old tsunami headed towards California. Parts of California is going to be underwater. That was already in the Federal Register. It's already written, just like all this stuff was already written in all the different manuscripts. They have to follow the word just like you're supposed to follow the word. A lot of places flooding out. They put it in the new infrastructure bill. When I kept going over it, I said, they telling y'all these parts of Florida is going to be flooded underwater because this is what they need to recreate their infrastructure. Don't be surprised when it start happening because they already said it. I said, check your city and where you live, because in the Federal Register to let you know if your town is going to be flooded out, there it is, so you can be prepared. Now, this is flooding over here, and this is flooding over there, and this going to end up underwater here, and it's already written. You hear people like Young Elder crying, talking about he, shadow banned. The people who dropping the real information and telling you where to look for this stuff that's going on, like me, shadow banned to the point I can't make over 10 people in my chat. He crying because he only getting 5,000 views at a time. That they shadow banned. Bull crap. But see, what I do know, it doesn't matter for me, because it was written that for me, this is what it was going to be. The rejected stone. They'd kill my son and documented that I'm the reason why. Same story every single time. Same thing they doing over there in the other side. See you on the other side. It's written. It's written for me. So I'm now that I'm so prepared and ready and honored that God chose me. As he did many. It's not unique to me. It's not just unique to me. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and read this part because I'm not going to be on here long. See, I got to be getting ready for when the man walks through the door. When he walks through the door and he says, "Oh, Grandma, pretty, I like it." And my granddaughter says, "Okay, Grandma, I like that art. We're going to hang it. Where are we going to hang that? What's next? What are we going to learn this weekend? What are we doing this weekend?" That's what I'm getting ready for. Let me go get this bread of bacon, get the house smelling ready. So I'm not going to be on here long. Let me go ahead and read this part right here and then show you. And so that you know that I'm not reaching, you could go and look it up for yourself. We have 5 months, and that last signal where the beast is going to rise is already written. They already prepared it. Okay, here we go. Let's get the word in. Who's here with me? Oh, is somebody here with me? Who's here with me? Let's see, said the blind man. King Oh, you were with me at the final. You know what? When I was playing, I don't know what happened to my system, the sound. But I had the mind playing in the background. I had the mind playing. Dr. Malachi Z, the mind, while I was playing those cards. And I had it where it was supposed to be able to be heard. So I guess it was just for me. And then you saw the final score. Did you see that final score? Did you see them numbers? I was like, and then when I went back to listen and realized that the mind wasn't playing to be heard, I said, yep, because it was just for me to be concentrating and listening as I was playing with Trump. Trump was my partner. There we go. Matthew 24. I also, before that, now you know the Christism, that's over 800 and something pages. So I was going to do that one first. And I said, I don't have to do the Christism. But I will do the mind. So it was just for me. 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 when you start passing out blessings. All right, here we go. As Jesus was leaving the temple grounds, his disciples came along and wanted to take him on a tour of the various temple buildings. Like Jesus hadn't known anything about it. Must have been like, they must have been on vacation or something. They act like Jesus ain't know nothing about the territory or something. I don't know. That right there always kind of throw me for a loop. It was like, yeah, we want to take you on a 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour. But he told them, all these stellas will be knocked down. All these buildings, every single Rosetta Stone, every stella on this earth is going to be knocked down with not one stone left on top of another with their lives. When all this happened, when will all this happen? The disciples asked. And he sat down on the slopes of the Mount of Olives. What events will signal your return and the end of the world? Jesus told them, don't let anyone fool you, for many will come claiming to be the Messiah. Messiah God. It will lead many astray. And when you hear of wars beginning, this does not signal my return. That's why I keep saying this just the beginning. You got 5 months to do what you need to do. I'm 5 months. Work it out. I'm gonna work it out. Work it out. Work it out. It don't mean stop and be scared and go hide up under rocks and in a cave and all that. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, right? Because the wars don't mean he's at the door. The wars don't mean nothing. Every plane and going over there, everything written in the dark. That's why it'd be funny to me. To someone else, they'd be like, she's laughing at the wars going on. No, I'm laughing because it's already written that this stuff is going to happen. So it's like sitting back and watching a movie play out that you already know the script to the movie. So when you hear the wars beginning, this does not signal my return. These must come, but the end is not yet. The nations and kingdom of the earth will rise against each other, and there will be famines and earthquakes in many places. So, yeah, when I see, okay, a volcano erupting and a tsunami happening over here, and the tornadoes getting stronger and stronger because it was written. If it wasn't written here and you needed a translation, you could go to the Millennium Book and different books. Where Dr. Malachi Z. York say the tornadoes will get to the point where the winds will be over 500 miles an hour. Get ready. It's already happening. So I'm not surprised, but I already know, based on my DNA and based on who I am and based on the truth about my life, that I'm protected. I'm not worried about a thing. The nation, listen. When you hear of these wars beginning, that does not signal my return. These must come, but the end is not yet. Not just yet. The nations and kingdoms of earth will rise against each other. See, remember, the rumors of wars is when it was just over there. That's the rumors. We hearing the wars over there. Now all the nations are rising up against each other. And there will be famines and earthquakes in many places. I mean, some of the places are shocked every time they get a little quake now. But all this will only be the beginning of the horrors to come. This is just the beginning of the horrors to come, and the horrors are not yet. Now, it's at the last signal, right? It's at the last signal. At the last signal when you really going to see the horrors. and all the horrors going to come out. Then you will be tortured and killed and hated all over the world because you are mine. And many of you will fall back into sin and betray and hate each other. You know why? Because when they start seeing the righteous, they're going to be like, nah, I don't want that drama. I'm good. I'll join Magog. Huh? I'll take the mark of the beast. That's what's going to happen. I'll be team devil. I'll be team Satan, or whatever name they have for him. So that's where they're going to be falling back. They're going to be like, oh, no, that's okay. I changed my mind. And many false prophets will appear and lead many astray. Sin will be rampant everywhere and cool the love of many. You'll have people saying love and they don't really know what love is. And then right now, you go to some of these men and say love. Love, what that mean? Love? Huh? You speaking a strange language. I'm telling you, you act like you live in love and light, and they can't stand you. They try to do, they come up with all kinds of stuff to try to kill that love and light. Love, you talking crazy. You're a false, phony, narcissistic, pseudo individual. And we can't put our finger on it, huh? But we can't come to you direct because you got too much, you too bright. And every time you come around, we're gonna block you. You too bright. I'm not the only one. It's not just me. The way it's written is about 144,000 that are witnesses to bring forth the information. But either way, but those, look, sin will be so rampant, cool, the love of many will be cool. They'll be all the way frozen. They'll be, I got an ice box where my heart used to be. Huh? Huh? That'll be their theme song. When you hear them, when you see them coming, you'll hear. You'll hear it coming. Huh? Or if it's a woman, or depending on what genre of life they got rose through, Lil Wayne's baby mama Madonna, you'll hear her. Yeah, your heart is frozen. You know, that'll be the tune coming from it. Be like, I don't know what love is. And if they, in the LGBTQ and Z type of way, you might hear the frequency coming. I want to know what love is. I don't know what love is. I don't, because I don't even love myself for being the reflection that I was made in, the image that I was made in. But I want to know what love is. So you might hear that frequency coming from them. I want to know. I want you to show me. Remember. Oh, gonna take a little time. A little time to look around me. It looks like love has finally found me. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. And I don't know if I can face it again. Everybody in the hood had that playing. Just a whole frequency, letting them know they don't know what love is. I was one of them. I don't know what love is. And I need to be shown what it is. And I can't find it. And it found me, but I still don't know what it is. And the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world. This is the part right here. So that all the nations will hear it. That's why I say it don't matter about shadow band. They don't have the last say so. God is going to keep his promise. All the world will hear it, and then finally, the end will come. Finally, the end will come. So when you see the horrible things told by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, notice to the reader, you know what this is meant by this. This is a special notice just to me. Say note to the reader. You know what this means. Then those in Judea must flee into the Judean hills. Those in Judah, if they are in Judah, this is where everybody miss it. They in Judah right now, right? So they say they must flee to the Judean hills. That's on this side. I've been saying it. I said it plenty time and time again. If they are in Judah, wouldn't that he would have said, well, then they got to stay right there in Judah? See, there's I never felt a fit like juju. It's a lot of people don't know what that means when I say that. Let me go ahead and get that commercial and play this commercial real quick. Let me play this commercial real quick so you'll know every time I say that what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people who are born in the late 80s and stuff, and they don't know that phrase. So you think I'm being funny. And only us that grew up in the hood or in the undeserved, that's what they like to say in the Federal Register, undeserved communities wanted a pair of juju jeans, but our parents said, nah, ain't nobody gonna spend no type of money on those jujus. Ain't nobody got that kind of money. And if you can't find it when we go to the flea market in the thrift on one of these tables at Tropical Park Flea Market, the memories. If you can't find those juju jeans there, I'm sorry. Because you ain't nobody spending no money on those jujus. Let me play this for you right quick. Let me highlight where I just left off. So look, you can't pack up your juju clothes. Let me get this commercial going. Juju. Hold up. There you go. Here we go. So now when you hear me saying that, those that wear a fit like juju, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to. I'm sorry I went so long without playing and letting people know. Let me see. Is this going to be the right version? And let me share the screen. Share this tab.
Courses, try it free at skynova.com.
All right, ready?
You never felt such a thing. Juju has the look for you. Juju You never felt such a fit. You never felt such a fit. You never felt such a fit.
Now that commercial ain't the one. That's not the one that I definitely remember. But that's one of them. I remember that one, but that wasn't the one that like we sang as children and made us want a pair of Juju jeans. Here, let's see if it's this one. I believe it's this one.
I never felt a fit like Juju.
There you go. Juju.
My Juju clothes, they touch me so close. They fit me like I had a painted
That's simple, y'all.
on. Yeah, Juju, Juju I want. Oh, Juju, Juju, oh, Juju.
Available at Pants Place Plus.
Wait, let me stop it. Wait a minute. I want to play it one more time.
Get the feel of wholesome refreshment.
Does anyone remember that Juju commercial? Do you remember? Do you remember? Let me see. Here we go. I want to play it one more time.
I never felt a fit like Juju. My Juju clothes, they touch me so close. They fit me like I have painted on. Yeah, Juju, Juju I want. Oh, Juju, Juju, oh, Juju.
Available at Pants Place Plus.
I wonder where she at. Where is that lady at? Where is she? She don't even look real. She kind of looking like a man laying there. So that's what I mean when I say that. And again, only someone my age, let's say 46 and older, that knew when our parents took us to the store, because of that commercial, we wanted a pair of Juju jeans. Did we want the Juju genetic? I don't know. I just know something about that commercial made us want a pair of Juju jeans. And then they wasn't even made. When I finally found a pair of Juju jeans at the flea market, at the yard sales at the big old Tropical Park flea market, they weren't meant for a build like ours or like mine. And I was skinny then. I was so skinny that they called me Ethiopia in school. But it's still they didn't fit. They weren't made for my body type. So I guess. All right. So if they're in Judah, why would they have to flee? And where is the Judean hills that they're gonna be fleeing to? Right? All right. So those in Judea must flee to the Judean hills. Those on their porches, the porch monkeys, must not even go inside the pack before they flee. And those in the fields should not return to their homes for their Indian clothes or their Juju clothes. And woe to the pregnant women and those with babies in those days, because they got a lot of stuff written in there that they plan on doing for those who are going to be left behind. And pray that your flight will not be in the winter. It's still winter going on in many places that they don't even experience winter this late in the year. For there will be persecution in such the world has never seen in all its history and will never see again. In fact, unless those days are shortened, I told you the days are shortened. You don't have to believe me. We wasn't supposed to go out there and look at that eclipse. But if you go out there and look at that, whatever it is they got up there right now, that sun's still eclipsed, but you can't see it until it get on high noon. And it's high noon at after 3. And then there's another entity behind it at high noon. For there will be persecution in the world and never seen in all of history and never see again. In fact, oh, wait a minute. What time is it? Okay, I'm going to have to put y'all on hold. I got something coming for my grandkids at the door. So I got to never be seen in all of history. In fact, unless those days are shortened, all mankind will perish. But the only reason why we getting these 5 months of protection is because the days are shortened. And you can see it. You can see that the sunrise is not rising where it's supposed to rise. It's way different than ever before for the time that you've been here on earth, on this plane. And it's shortened for the sake of God's chosen people. All right. Be right back. Sit back. Relax. After this, we'll be right back. There was a Bobby Jones gospel somewhere.
Darkness will see a great light. Those who live in the dark land, the light will shine on them. God's promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I'm in always reflecting His light. Always I acknowledge, no knowledge, no courage. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that He is by your side, and nothing can separate this love inside. No masters, no doctors can prescribe ways in my calling. Only His ways, oh ancient of days, can correct. He reflects the path I acknowledge. God's promise, 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 promise. 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 Put him in yourself who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created it. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on. Promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind, my mind is light. I am in always reflecting His might. I am in always reflecting His sight. In always I acknowledge, no knowledge, no college. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. himself who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in the dark land, the light will shine on. Promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I am in all ways reflecting his mind. I am in all ways reflecting his sight. In all ways I acknowledge, no knowledge, no college. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that he is by your side. And not born himself who is being created to a true knowledge according to the image of the one who created him. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on them. God's promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise. God's mind is my mind is light. I'm in always reflecting his sight. Always I acknowledge, no knowledge, no courage. Ooh, God, you promised that great day will come. Yes, God, you promised that I will see my son. You promised that he is by your side, and nothing can separate this love inside. No masters, no doctors can prescribe ways in my calling. Only his ways, oh ancient if days can correct. He reflects the path I acknowledge. God's promise, 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 promise. God's promise, 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 promise.
Thank you for holding and staying right there and waiting. Look, dang, I left my glasses out there. See, I need way more glasses. See, I didn't. My intent was not to wear these colors. I only got 2 pairs, right? But I need to get a bunch of different colors. Different color glasses. All right. Let's get back. I never felt a fit like Juju. My Juju clothes, they fit me so close. They fit me like I got them painted on. All right. King Alice, who else is in here with me? There's somebody else. Don't be hiding. Don't you do that. Don't do that. All right. So again, the days have been shortened. And those who have followed the sun over the years, or people like me who was an adamant sun gazer. I had stared at the sun so much throughout my life that I grew that, had that growth growing over my eye and everything. And then they were talking about they can slice. I don't want nothing sharp near my eye. I'm good, huh? And one morning last month, I woke up, it was gone. I was like, what? All these years. Okay, so then if anyone tells you, now here's the rest. I'm at Matthew 24:23. And if anyone tells you the Messiah has arrived in such and such a place, the Son has arrived, I'm going to use the word Son. The Son has arrived in such and such a place, and has appeared here or there. Don't you believe it? That was the sign of the eclipse. If they telling millions of people, you know how it is. You can't do everything that the world do. That's when you know. If they tell 1 million people to go jump off a bridge, you gonna go jump off the bridge? When somebody, they got a warning, they say the warning is right before you get to the bridge. And the warning, the person that's warning, everybody say they're gonna tell everybody to go look and jump off the bridge. But I'm telling you, don't go look to jump off the bridge. Well, that part already happened right there. For false Christ will arise. That's NASA. NASA is the false Christ. When they asked Jesus, the day that they arrested Jesus, the one question that made them able to arrest him is they asked him, was he the NASA? Was he the Nazareth? The one that knows the sun. Now, NASA put up all their different casting lights that day and pulled the current. Remember, Satan, if you take the cross if you remove the cross, that's what NASA did. They removed the cross. If you take the T out, you'll get the false Christ, the NASA. No? Yes. So when NASA put up all their false casting lights, the false Christ, it says, for the false Christ shall arise that day. And false prophets, there would be so many people telling you. Some of them didn't even go look, but they telling you, come on, let's enjoy this view of NASA, even though we don't believe in NASA. You have particular people that have been saying for years, they don't even believe in nothing that NASA puts out, but they're going to tell you, come on, let's go look. And they made it like it was such a wonderful thing. I'm talking about some people racked up. That if it were possible, even God's chosen ones would be deceived. I know about one being that was in the midst, and they was like, nope, I'm not going out there to look. See, I have warned you. This is where he reminds, he said, I warned you now. It's here. It's written. I'm warning you. So if anyone tells you that the Messiah has returned and is out in the desert, don't bother to go and look. Or that he is hiding in a certain place. And say, look, if someone tells you that the sun has returned and is out in the desert, don't bother to go and look. And if someone says the sun is hiding in a certain place, it's been eclipsed, don't believe it. For as the lightning flashes across the sky from the east and the west, so shall my coming be when I, the Messiah, returns. When I, the sun, returns. When the sun returns, it'll be able to be seen from the east and the west, the north and the south. Every eye will see. And wherever the government is, the vultures will gather. So they'll be gathering the Gog and Magog, the dead. They'll be the carcass is just what it says. Like when you listen to the government say black caucus, white caucus, this caucus coming out of the caucus mounts of political disrest or unrest. Their vulture that they pretend is an eagle in their symbols is gathered. That's the gathering of Gog and Magog. That's exactly what this verse means. So immediately after the persecution in those days, the sun will be darkened. Now, see, there's a difference between that eclipse and the one that is right before the last signal that Christ tells us about. Immediately after the persecution, after those 5 months, the sun will be darkened. Now, this is the eclipse that the children of God will be looking for. And the moon will not give its light, and the stars will seem to fall from the heavens, and the powers overshadowing the earth will be convulsed. This is where the government, because they know that that is the final sign. And then the last signal. So they getting their last signal ready. It says, and then at the last signal, so right after the 5 months, there's going to be an eclipse for us to talk about. And this is something they don't have no control over. This is something they won't even be prepared for. They don't even know. But what they know is that in those 5 months, when these 5 months are up from this fake eclipse that they just had and all the different frequencies that they sent out that day, they know they have 5 months. So right now in the Federal Register, they're preparing for the 5 months, after the 5 months. And I'm going to show you here right now, because I don't have too much longer to be on here. I need to go ahead and get to baking that bread and cooking and getting ready for the grands. My granddaughter, she's so excited to be able to come over here and get on that elliptical. My grandson was over here the other day. He skipped school trying to act like he wasn't feeling good. And when he pulled up, I knew why he wasn't feeling good. He had his first haircut. As soon as he stepped out the car, I said, that's why. Huh? They mess with your crown. I ain't want them to cut his hair. Took a little bit of his strength. But when he got here, he acted like he's like, nope, I was just pretending. I wanted you to see my haircut. Because we had a ball. And he was trying to get on that elliptical. He said, what the grandma? Oh, it's pretty. I gave him the chalk and let him do all type of designs on it. Any mother and the mothers who, you want to see your children, enjoy the little things in life, like writing on the wall, but you don't want to have to do the painting over and stuff. Just give them a white chalk. Because when my granddaughter is coloring and drawing, he wants to get those markers and see that he can do the same thing. And when you give a baby or a toddler markers, the first thing they want to do is write all over the place. So what I do is I give him chalk. I give him the white chalk. Now every now and then he wants the other colors. Like the other day, I let him get the blue. He was like, Grandma, please, blue. I like, look, because I know that chalk is harder to get out of the walls. They got it a little, okay, where it's washable, but I give him the white chalk. You just let him go to work. So I did that the other day. I was like, here you go. He said, oh, what's it, Grandma? Anyways, here's that Federal Register. And I'm not going to, again, stay on here long. You could go look up the being yourself. That beast. Here we go. See this right here? This is the release of the last signal. and I may come over and work on this or go over this with you on Sunday. Energy Conservation Program test procedure for uninterruptible power supplies. Oh, no, they just talking about Department of Energy and Power Supplies. No, they're not. It's a cover for their thoughts about what's to come. Again, they have to follow. Look, method of specifying the performance and test requirements. They have a Y code in here. Let me go over the two things and how you know that this is in reference to after the 5 months. So this is a rule, right? But this rule is not going to be effective until, and they're sending out their last signal to test October 16th. That's literally 5 months from the eclipse. No, it is. And this is the test, their last signal. But again, how can I be so sure that this matches up with Revelations? In Revelations, where it says we'll be protected for 5 months before that last signal goes out. See, you see the word cast right here. I just reviewed cast yesterday. Here's the two things: the Y code and this name, Nema. It's all this epica and all that. It's all significant too, and you probably can find and pull a whole lot of information out of it. But the two main names or two main factors in here to know that this matches up with Revelations is the Y code. So I'm going to read to you about the Y1 code, and then I'm going to read to you about who Nema is. Okay? Anytime you see the acronyms, know that these acronyms represent something on a spiritual level. Your federal government, just like Biden says, he listens to the betterment of the whispering of his angels. And he specifically stated when he stuck his stinking penny loafers on Ebenezer Rock that we don't have the same God. Here they want to harmonize. Here's the words: harmonization. Department of harmonizing, because this is their last of gathering Gog and Magog with their final beast. Here we go. Let me go to Nema first and explain Nema. Again, I need to hurry up and get off of here and go get prepared. Preparation. So Nema is in representation to the Nemean lion. Remember, this lion, they portray as a lion. They want to be a lion so bad that they've created a beast of a lion. Remember, they wear a fit like Juju. So the Nemean lion, which is well-known creature, it's a creature in Greek mythology. The Nemean lion is a fearsome beast with an invulnerable hide that cannot be pierced by any weapon. It terrorized the area around the town of Nema until it was slain by hero Hercules, also known as Hercules, as the first of his 12 labors. Hercules had to defeat the lion using his immense strength, ultimately killing it with his bare hands. The reason why the true Lion of Judah is just where it's at. In Greek mythology, they switched the story to make it look like they were the victors. They cover the story with this in that way, but they're not telling you that their lion never got destroyed, their beast, and that's what they're using. That's why it's under the guise of myth. Because in the myth of things, or the midst of it, they can take and switch the story around as many times as they need to put a veil over what's the truth. Hercules had to defeat the lion using immense strength, ultimately killing it with his bare hands. After slaying Nemean lion, Hercules famously wore its hide as armor. They put on the lion's clothes, which became one of the most recognizable attributes. Now, let me read to you about the why one. Okay. Explain why one in chemistry. Could it in the context of collaboration curve, there's a curve which is used to determine the concentration of a substance in an unknown sample, comparing it to a set of standards. The Y1 could represent the signal, see, or response of the first standard. Take that away with you. Take that note away with you. The Y1 that they got up in here that they using in codes, they using the codes of the biblical narratives because they have to follow the script in these last days. But they have it so coded up that you come over here and think they talking about air conditions. You see all this? When I go and I look at these codes in this book right here, let me see if you're looking at me or looking at the screen. See this book right here? When I go and look at and match up the codes in here, I see what they're doing. When I go and reference it into the bioengineering codes in this companion book here, I see what they're doing. So let me continue. In the context of a collaboration curve, which is used to determine the concentration of a substance in an unknown sample, comparing it to a set of standards, Y1 could represent the signal or response of the first standard. And in this scripture, Jesus specifically uses the word signal, saying at the last signal. So at their last signal, they're going to raise a beast to try to deflect the reflection of the Lion of Judah return. And that's what this last signal after the 5 months. And which scripture can you find the reference to the 5 months of protection? Or 5 months after the eclipse is Revelations 9:5. I just saw something here about the house of Israel burying the dead for 7 months. I'm not going to look into that. But that's the conclusion of today. Like I said, I may come Sunday when I get a chance to go live again and go over some of this, or I may not. It's already said, it's already written. And again, it's not about fear. Look at how they use the linear codes. The linear, the non-linear, or the linear. The test load of the lion against the lion in nature. See there? Stimulate, loads to stimulate as far the particles. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. See, the doe is coming before the ray. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Doe has a, here's their harmonization standard. Doe, releasing NEMA, established practice to adopt relevant industry standards as the Doe test, the final signal procedures, unless such methodology would be unduly burdensome to conduct or would not produce the test results and reflect the energy efficiency, energy use, and water use, the water of life. They're trying to mess with the water of life. Now, mind you, in between these dates, this eclipse and this event, document and see all the things that are going to happen. Hurricanes that they already have prepared. See, if I type in hurricane, all the different events that they have simulated to have an effect on people, where people are burdened down in this infrastructure, where they have no choice. They have a choice, but which choice they'll make before this last signal to sign on with Gog and Magog. I want the one from the last 30 days. Let's go to the last 30 days. They have some in public inspection. Storm winds. 4, 5. Natural disasters, San Juan. Uh-oh. Okay. This is one of those examples right here. This is one of those examples right here, okay? This is one of those examples where something is going to happen and it hasn't happened yet, and they put it here. Here's a final rule. Here's a final rule. Oh, it's effective May 6th. Now, y'all watch. Puerto Rico is going to have an event. It's not about hearing it here first. Puerto Rico is about to have an event. And the event is going to be drastic. San Juan is their major. So there's going to be a so-called hurricane before hurricane season. And San Juan is going to be affected. And they already put in the order, and it's supposed to be effective by May 6th. This is the stuff that I mean. So for those who have family in Puerto Rico, you might want to go ahead, and especially San Juan. San Juan is the target. This is what I mean. When it happens, you don't be all surprised talking about, oh, Oh, because they're telling you what they're about to do. Here, let me put in sulfur. It's just certain things I want to put in that matches up with before they send out that last signal, the things that they're going to do to have the people burned down who aren't sure of who they are in Christ. Okay, this is where sulfur is going to be released out of around the continental shelf. Let's see, I'm looking for the most recent rule or regulation. Okay, they don't have anything here, not on the recent ones. But that's that, what you call it, the ring of fire. This is those events that they're already prepared for and is already written. Oh, Lake Charles, Louisiana. So it's going to be sulfur coming out of, well, wait a minute. But they're using that in aviation. Also, don't forget something about the NFL draft day. There's an event there. Hazing, Oregon. How much sulfur they releasing in Oregon? And when is this supposed to happen? Ooh. How much sulfur? Wait a minute. When is this supposed to happen? March 25th. The comments need to be written by March. Okay, I don't see a date, an up-to-date date. Let's see. Wait, what did they say about the sugar company? Ooh, I gotta come back and look at this one. This one putting all kind of stuff in here for Oregon. Something about the cement company, Ash Grove, and a sugar company. And somebody would come over here and be like, no, they're talking about carbon monoxide. And I know they talking about sulfur being released. Oh, they giving them, Oregon look like it's going to be safe. I don't know. Oh boy, they talking about boiler rooms. They talking about 2026. They giving them a 30 years. Some mills, the casting mills. Oh my goodness. They say no later than July 2026 will people be permitted to go on that land because it'll be boiling, over boiling. They talking about how long it's going to be boiling. Let me get off of here. Greater light, I appreciate you. King Ellis, I appreciate you. I definitely will be back over here on a Sunday afternoon. But you know this Sunday is just what? A seventh day of the week when there's 12 days of the week. And those 12 days, when we get in the kingdom, when the kingdom comes, those 12 gates where we'll be worshiping, the reason why it's going to be back to 12 days, because each tribe gets a day of their own to praise God, huh? Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise him, all creatures here below. Praise him above, ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and holy oil within my spirit. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas, my mind is perfect. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will supply the perfect solution to not just some of my needs, but every single one of my needs. God, you promise.